Hello everybody, CritCrab here with another story, this one about a DM that seems to have nothing but bloodlust for players. He kills them in repetitive and incredibly uncreative and easy to foil ways, but luckily for him, most of his rolls are natural 20s. Roll post. So, starting off, this is my first time posting a story, so I'm trying my best. I've been playing D&D for almost 2 years being a player and DMing, so I know my way around as D&D has also helped me be more creative and given me new friends. The people I normally play with have the same sense of humor and get along quite easily, but this story is about someone I don't really get along with when D&D is brought up. Here are names of people in this story, and of course, some names are changed. Me, DM of question, Johnny, friend 1, Sean, friend 2, Adam, friend 3, E, friend 4, D, and friend 5B. Not confusing at all? Okay, let's get started. So, my usual DM is Sean, and he's one of my best friends and someone I think of as a brother. But for this, things went downhill. We were playing a 5e Star Wars game on our Discord server that took place during Order 66. I was playing Corin Tapalo, a human operative, which is basically a rogue, who was a bounty hunter and would work for anyone. Then there was Ramus, a Mandalorian scout played by Adam, and Tanner, a Wookiee sentinel, and Quindarius Goochly, Trandoshan fighter. So we start our campaign off pretty well. We get a mission from Jabba to capture a Jedi Padawan. We get led to many places trying to track him, and once we go to Geonosis, Sean decides that he wasn't interested in the campaign anymore, but all of us players were. In comes the new DM, Johnny. For some background, Johnny is the one who taught Sean and Adam how to play D&D, and let's just say he has a high PC death rate, which should have been a red flag, but I still played. So with Johnny DMing for us, we could keep playing, which for that I was excited. We immediately start again on Geonosis and enter this old separatist compound. And as we delve in more, we meet Sean's new character, a Bothan engineer with a rough Scottish accent. We talk for a bit and start hearing noises above us and decide to leave. That's when commando droids are killing everyone inside. Apparently, the Empire had chased us to this place. We take out the commando droids in our way, leaving only me and Ramus alive. Barely. We make it back to the ship, leave, and continue to track our target who wasn't at Geonosis anymore and find out that he is, in fact, on Mustafar, which right now is being held by the Empire. We get there and are immediately targeted by the Empire, with them coming onto our comms telling us to leave, thinking that we're just another ship. And on that planet is an entire Imperial fleet. We leave and head back to Tatooine. We go shopping and do a quick side quest, and then head back to Jabba. Only Ramus and I head there, and we're told that we have to give up our weapons and be searched. I don't remember that from lore. You could just walk in with the weapons on you, but if you tried anything, you would be shot by other bounty hunters and palace guards. So I give everything up except my hidden blade, which lets me roll for advantage for sleight of hand checks. Johnny then tells us that the guards are going to search us. Okay, that's fine. For the next 2 minutes, I hear him rolling. I even told Adam that I hoped he was just tapping his desk, to which he responds, "Unfortunately, that's him rolling." I hear him roll for 20 guards, all with advantage after I told him that I still had my hidden blade on me. I made my sleight of hand check and rolled a nat 20, but he says, "As they throw you against the wall to search you, your hidden blade falls off of you and you were knocked unconscious." Me. What? No save? Johnny. They have giant hands and a lot of strength. They would be able to do it with no problem. I say whatever and the guards take me away. Ramus goes and speaks to Jabba, where he explains that the Empire had taken our target. He then proceeds to have every guard and bounty hunter point their guns at Ramus, where he uses his jetpack to fly in the air, and it short circuits. Weird. Mandalorian jetpacks don't usually do that, even when they're damaged, they're pretty durable. So he falls into the Rancor pit, and I find myself awake in there. I say something real quick, and the Rancor appears and insta-kills Ramus. No attack, no check, no save, just instantly kills him. I now have to fight the Rancor by myself with no weapons and only very limited tech powers. In the end, I die, which wasn't very surprising, but it was my first character death. We were only level 7. We continued to play a couple games that I'll go over real quick. We then did a villains game, where we had me playing Claudius, a plague doctor who could summon animals and could talk to dead people and their spirits. Adam was playing Scion, a satyr with psionic abilities. And D, playing someone who could turn themselves into a puddle of slush. For our first mission, we want to take over a police station and decide to use the gangs of that area to our advantage. We go see one of them and are immediately attacked by them to where Scion kills them all in one hit but takes 3 points of exhaustion. The entire building is destroyed and we decide to leave, and I have my Raven look around as we carry Scion out. But Johnny says, "You guys are still in the building and the police show up." That was quick. We were talking for like 1 minute and they just show up like that. We get arrested and D tries to escape but dies instantly. Scion is unconscious and both him and I are taken to this high security prison, where I'm placed in a cell that you can never leave as it has a laser field as a cell door and I can't do anything. And by the end, Scion is dead, so I'm the only original member. By the way, this was the first session. We were level 3. And for our final game, the game when I decided to never play one of his games again, it was another Star Wars 5e game where everyone played as a Force user, except one person, who we will call B. He was one of my IRL friends and wanted to try out D&D with us and made a droid who was under my command. I was playing a Sith, while Sean and Adam played Jedis and D played a Grey Force user, someone who isn't a part of either the Jedi or the Sith. We are in this Sith temple and have been stuck here for 5 years and we can't leave. We explore and the Empire shows up. Oh yeah, this also takes place during Order 66. Once the Empire shows up, we then discover that something is keeping us here. Apparently, in the 5 years we were here, we didn't know that, even though almost all of us are Force users and we could figure that out in the first few months. But the Empire arrives at the temple, and in the temple enters 60 stormtroopers and 1 Inquisitor. The Inquisitor tells us to surrender or die. We tell them that we only do what the Force guides us to do, and then we are told that we have to roll initiative. We roll initiative, and when it's the Inquisitor's turn, they tell all of the stormtroopers to shoot us. 10 go for everyone, but 20 go for me. We all think that since my droid was behind me, that 20 of them shot at me, even though he was taller than me, and they could have shot him too. 10 of the stormtroopers just so happened to roll nat 20s, and the other 10 rolled 21s. So I took over 450 damage immediately. I was quiet for a bit, and then I left the call. I was told that my droid decided to use his reaction to jump in front of me to sacrifice himself so I could live. Keep in mind that this is B's first session in a couple of years, and in the very first session he is dead. He told us to keep playing and that he was going, and called Johnny a bad DM. I wanted revenge for B and ran towards the Inquisitor and tried to make him hallucinate, which failed since he also happened to roll a nat 20 on his wisdom save. I said I had to go and have never played in one of his games since. I'm sure that outside of D&D he's a cool dude and all, but I don't ever want to play in a game where he's DMing. Sorry this was so long, but I had to get this out. I might post another story where he was in a party with me. So thank you for taking the time to read, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. TLDR, DM kills the party all the time, even on first sessions, and only cared if he had fun while the party spent weeks on making characters. End post. I genuinely don't know what to say here. I'm glad that OP knew when the time to leave was, and handled it maturely. But this DM sounds almost too bad. If I was a touch more naive, I would assume that he was maybe 9 years old and be done with it. But we all know at this point that that was not the case. I mean, how does he honestly expect people to believe that he rolls that well? And why does nobody say anything about it? It's all such a headache that I just gotta leave it on this note. Human interaction can be all about dealing with each other's crap from time to time. It happens. And while tolerating it and not letting it get to you too badly is kind and caring, but letting it snowball into something of this proportion to where you're completely jaded when they tell you completely unbelievable lies or do intolerable things is not okay. There are times when you gotta put your foot down and stop getting burnt, or cut your losses and leave like OP did. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. Till next time.